Hopefully, I can finish this by midnight. Otherwise, I would have failed this challenge by day 2. I'm fucking sobbing. This book felt like a bad trip. Honestly, the thought of reading makes me want to be sick. Hi everyone, it's Shar. Welcome back to my channel. I was not planning to film the intro for this video today, just to be transparent, but I'm going to because it's going to be cloudy and snowing for the next week. So this is the best the lighting is going to get. So as you can see from the title of this video, I decided that I wanted to read a book a day, every day for a week. And you might be asking yourself, why? Well, this year has been the year of reading slumps. We are only in March and I've already gone through 4 reading slumps. If you're new here, I am a mood reader. Overall, I really enjoy being a mood reader, but one of the downsides of being a mood reader is reading slumps because I will finish a book and then decide, but I'm not in the mood to read. And I decided that this experiment will be the perfect way to help me get back into reading and to break the reading slump. So I'm going to read a book every single day this week for 7 days and tell you all about what that experiment was like, what books I read, how much I enjoyed them. I haven't finished all of the books yet, so I'm not gonna tell you what I read. You will find out throughout this vlog, but just know that I read across a variety of genres and overall, you'll see how I felt about it. Without further ado, I hope that you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you want me to do other challenges like this, and I will see you at the end of this video. Good morning. It's 9:30 a.m. The birds are chirping. This is gonna be bouncing a lot because I have a bag in my hand, but hopefully, you know, it's not too annoying. Today is day 1 of reading a book every day for the entire week. While you and I bounce down this street, I want to tell you that the first book I'm starting with is Roger's Resonance right here. Editing me will pop it on the screen for you. Ew. Gotta love dog shit all over the street. So Roger's Resonance is part of the Ice Planet Barbarian series. It takes place 10 years after the first book. It's like one of the spin-offs, and Roger is one of the only males who does not have resonance. If you don't know this world, you're confused. Resonance is like when you know you found your mate, right? He hasn't found his mate. He never resonated. There are no more humans on the planet. He thinks, well, fuck, I'm doomed to have no one or to have someone that I don't want until he gets taken by something. He's kidnapped and he's put in this cave, and in this cave, lo and behold, is his mate. We don't know anything outside of that. We don't know why that's happened. I love that I'm speaking so loudly as I walk down the street and talk to you about this book. But yeah, that is what's going on with that book. I'll tell you, I'm really enjoying it so far. And the deadline for me to finish a book a day is midnight every day. So fingers crossed I can finish this. For now, had to start the morning off this beautiful Sunday. You can see the gorgeous weather with a quick trip to the grocery store. I try to do no more than like 1 or 2 updates per book. So I'll see you with my like 50% update. I'm 53% of the way through Roger's Resonance. I'm loving it. I'm loving it so much. It is so much steamier and spicier than I was expecting. Y'all, I haven't read a spicy book since January. So coming back in, I was like talking about a book that will make you blush because there's been 3 sex scenes already. And we're only on page 155 or something like that. It is so much fun. Okay, so we've gotten to the part where, you know, they're in their cave, they're trying to escape these people, they're trying to explain, there's naturally a language barrier, and of course, Roger and Rosalind are trying to come together, but Rosalind has no idea what the fuck is going on. And let me just tell you, mild spoiler, but not really because it's on the cover and it's part of the series. I think there's a clone situation going on, which I think will be a shocking revelation. So I'm so excited to see where that's going to go. I'm going to take a break for now. The book is 300 pages. I'm sure I will finish it by midnight since it's only 7:30, but wanted to give you this halfway update for what I'm thinking about this book. And in case you're curious, if ever I'm trying to break a reading slump, which I'm doing, I will go and look up an ambience room. So this one is a wintry cave and we're on an ice planet in a cave. So that's the vibes for this book. I just finished Argel's Resonance and realized it's Argel. That's how you pronounce that. I really loved it. I'm giving it 4 stars. It was such a good time. I love that Rosalind is like a fan fiction writing librarian. That's such a fun thing. And she talks a lot about like the fan fiction that she writes and her favorite tropes. And it's just like a really good time. It does break the fourth wall sometimes because you're like, this is the one bed trope, or oh my gosh, a breeding kink. I thought it was really funny and I definitely enjoyed that quite a bit. And then the relationship between Rosalind and Argel was really sweet. As I mentioned, the clone thing did come up. That's not a spoiler. I'm not even telling you who is a clone and if they're a main character or not, but I think it added a really interesting dynamic to the story and what we were experiencing as the reader. So with that said, I have finished the book. It reminds me of why I love this so much. And then Ruby Dixon had a reference to her Fire of the Dragon series. And I was like, oh my gosh, the Ruby-verse. Because I loved seeing that little Easter egg. It was just like one mention. I haven't read like so many of the books between, I think the last Ice Planet Barbarian book I read was like book 7 or book 8 or something like that. So maybe even earlier. So it's a big jump. But the beautiful thing about this series is that you can pick up wherever you want to pick up. You're not going to be super confused. So with that said, I am going to go to bed. It is 11:20 p.m. So day 1 of reading a book a day is complete. Good morning. This is me literally fresh out of bed. I just woke up like 10 minutes ago. I immediately want to start the day off with some reading because, you know, last night I finished the book at 11:30 p.m. and that was totally fine. I didn't start reading until 5 p.m. and I want to be a little bit more planned than that. So I'm going to be reading Migrations, which I'll pop on the screen, but it's this book right here, over here. So I'm going to be reading Migrations for today. I'm very excited. This is a book that I recently purchased. Some part of me is sad that it's not coming off of my like priority TBR shelf, only because it couldn't fit on there, okay? But I do need to read this shelf down. So I gave Argel's Residence 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. It was not a 5-star because there were certain parts that I felt like, I don't know, it was just a touch too long, like a touch. And it was only 300 pages, but some scenes felt like they dragged on a little bit longer than what they really needed to. Anyway, I'm off to read Migrations, and as always for this video, I'm gonna wash my damn hair, okay? That's what I'm gonna do, and I'm going to read Migrations. So I'll see you with my update for that. Hello. Hopefully I inserted the little clip of me working at a coffee shop, which was actually super cute and super relaxing. I like to do that every once in a while just to break up the monotony of working from home on my couch. I love how earlier on I said that I really needed to start reading my books earlier to complete this challenge successfully and not be going right until almost midnight finishing the book.
It's 1 p.m.
I spent the entire morning taking a shower, washing my hair, and then going to the coffee shop to edit the video that's going up on Tuesday. So you would have already seen this by the time this video goes up. I did finish that. It's uploading now. Now I'm going to eat lunch and start Migrations, and then I have to edit another video. So hopefully I can finish this by midnight. Otherwise, I would have failed this challenge by day 2. It is approximately 4:50 p.m. I have just gotten to chapter 5 of Migrations. That's about page 51. It took me like an hour to get here, so I have no doubt. This book is only 200, so I have no doubt that I can finish it tonight. So let me tell you what's going on, like just checking in about my first impressions. We're following Franny, and Franny is like in the Arctic or something, and she's trying to convince these people who have a ship to follow the migration of these birds. And we're actually some amount of time in the future where all wildlife has gone extinct. Everything. Monkeys, gorillas, lions, most of the fish, most of the birds. rhinos, bears. If you could think about it, they no longer exist. And that's a huge part due to climate change and just the ways that humans have driven these animals to extinction. We know that Franny is hiding something. We know that she has a past. There are certain chapters that are flashbacks to her past where she grew up in Australia, but she also spent a lot of time in Ireland where her family is from. And we know at this point that her mother left her when she was a child. So I'm enjoying this. I'll say at first, I love like flowery writing, but at first I was like, this writing's a little too flowery. Like it reads a lot like poetry, but the more I get into it and the more I get into the plot, there is a plot, the more that I enjoy it. With that said, besties, the font, let me just show you, is freaking tiny. Like look at those words per page. I'm already pretty tired, so I'm just going to take a break to eat my dinner, cook my dinner, and then eat my dinner, and then I'll come back to this, and hopefully I don't procrastinate. But honestly, I think I need like 5 or 6 more hours to finish this book. So as long as I am back to reading it by 6 p.m., I should be okay. It's 11:21. I have 15 pages left. I'm fucking sobbing. Not really, because this little lump here is my niece who is asleep, so I'm being a little quiet, but was not expecting to cry, like full on cry. Good morning. It is literally 7:30 a.m. I was doing my gratitude journal and I freaking wrote on my face, so that's what that is. So I did finish Migrations last night. As you saw, it made me cry. I did finish this at 11:40 last night. I don't know why I thought this fell into the spooky book category, and I think it's because of the summary, which I just read you this paragraph. You can see why I maybe thought of that. Franny's dark history begins to unspool. Battered by night terrors, accumulating a pile of unsent letters, and obsessed with pursuing the turns at any cost, Franny is full of secrets. When her quest threatens the safety of the entire crew, Franny must ask herself, what is she really running towards and running from? I would say this is more literary fiction. On Goodreads, it's classed also as science fiction, and I could see that as well. I did really enjoy this book. I think I mentioned I'm giving it 3.75 stars. It was really good overall, and I think I loved the writing of this a lot, and I really enjoyed learning more about Franny's history and the world that they live in now. These characters ultimately felt like real people, which is something that I really enjoyed. However, there were definitely some moments in the book that I felt like didn't really contribute to the plot or just really came out of left field and were very jarring. But overall, I enjoyed it. It's heavy on the science. They are on a boat for a lot of the time, but the book also has plenty of flashbacks where you're not on a boat and you're understanding this character, Franny. So with that said, I am going to listen to an audiobook today because as you can hear the chatter in the background, they've gone to the room now. My nieces and my nephew are here. I do not have any illusions that I will be able to read while they are here. So instead, I am just going to listen to the audiobook, and I think I'm going to listen to How to Sell a Haunted House, and then tomorrow will be our official halfway point. This is day 3, so technically it's today, but tomorrow I will give you the update on how I'm feeling about this experiment and what reading a book a day is doing for me. I am like 11 chapters into How to Sell a Haunted House. That is like partway through part 2. I just wanted to give you the update on my thoughts and also tell you what How to Sell a Haunted House is about. So How to Sell a Haunted House follows these 2 siblings. Their parents have died and they are trying to sell this house. That's the supposed synopsis. What's really happening is that their parents have died and they're fighting over who's going to get the inheritance. And I'm just gonna tell you without spoiling anything. Oh, hello, eyelash. I'm gonna tell you without spoiling anything. I fucking hate Mark. Hate him. This book is about killer puppets, and all I have to say is I hope Mark gets his just desserts from this killer puppet. And I think that speaks volumes to Grady Hendrix writing, because we're in anger in this section of the book. It's labeled by each of the stages of grief, and we're in anger, and I'm angry. And I'm just like, Mark can get killed by a puppet. And I so badly want to spoil, but I will not. Just know that the level of pettiness that rose in my body when something happens, and Louise was like, what the fuck? I was like, what the fuck with her? Because I would have become the pettiest bitch ever. I would have been casting curses. Anyway, I'm gonna continue. I'm standing in my current. Why? I don't know. Makes sense to me right now. So I just got to the halfway point of how to sell a haunted house. I've heard the reviews are very, very mixed. Right now, things are picking up. It's getting weird. It's giving strong, slappy energy. I don't think it's a spoiler to tell you that a big part of this book is puppets and horror. And oh my gosh, I need to do my eyebrows. Anyway, so puppets, strong slappy energy, strong dead silence energy. I don't know how I feel about it. I'm personally like had a strong childhood fear of dolls and puppets, mostly because my cousin made me watch Chucky when I was like fucking 5 years old. So carried on for the rest of my life. So that part is creepy, but the other part, I don't know. I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for it because whatever is in there is waiting for its revenge, and there's a lot of drama going on with this family. The good thing about this experiment for this is that audiobooks is so much easier than reading the ebooks. Okay, this light is getting weird. Audiobooks is so much better than ebooks for this reading experiment because I usually listen to my audiobooks like 2 times speed or 2.2 times speed, just depending on how slow the book is originally. Like 1 time speed literally sounds like people talking like, hello, welcome to the audiobook. That's what it sounds like to me. So I speed it up, not because I'm trying to finish the book faster, but because that's my natural pace. But I'm not gonna lie to you and tell you that my natural pace is also not helping me with this, because I only have 3.5 hours left in the audiobook and it's literally 3:30 p.m. That means I can take a long ass break to do nothing and come back to the audiobook later and still be done before midnight. So that's what I'm gonna do. My family is over. We're about to sit down and have a pizza and drink a cocktail, and that's gonna be that. So I'm gonna see you with my final thoughts on how to sell a haunted house.
6 hours later.
Wow, this lighting is shit. Excuse it. It's literally 11:53 p.m. I just finished How to Sell a Haunted House. Your girl is fucking tired. I'm gonna tell you my initial thoughts though. This book was weird. It was weird. I don't know what else to tell you. Puppets, ghosts, puppet monsters. Very bizarre. At a certain point in this book, I was like, this is the nightmare I would have if I was tripping on fucking acid. That's what I would have. This book felt like a bad trip. Anyway, I think I liked it. I think I'm giving it 3 stars, like 3.5 stars. Honestly, it was bizarre, but I felt the fear there. Like I could feel the fear going on. And what I like is that this is also a story about grief. I don't know how else to explain it to you because it was just weird. Hopefully, morning me has more of an idea of what to tell you, because 11:50 something p.m. me is like, good night, time for bed. Good morning. Your girl was fucking tired because it's 11 a.m. Hello. So I did finish, as I mentioned, How to Sell a Haunted House last night. I'm sticking with the rating that I gave upon my initial haze of 11:50 p.m. finishing this book, the 3 stars. I think it was good, and I think all of the things that I said still stand. It wasn't perfect, but I did definitely enjoy it, and I think it's very true to Grady Hendrix's writing style and the kind of story he likes to tell. And what I did really like was the balance of like horror and grief, or rather how these 2 things tie together, and how Grady Hendrix managed to tell a story about grief via a haunted house and haunted puppet. So I am off to start my next book for the day, or continue my next book, and that is While We Were Dating. Now you might be saying to yourself, Char, you said you already started this in February. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Also, my hair is doing this. But I'm so early in the book. I don't even have a bookmark in here. I got to page like 40-ish. Like, I'm super early on. I think I could still count this for this challenge. If I was halfway through like I am with Highly Suspicious and Unfairly Cute, I wouldn't, but because I'm so early on, I think that I will. It is fairly long, but I would say it's a very quick read in terms of the pacing. But because it is Wednesday and I'm officially on day 4 of reading a book a day, every day this week, my hair really just, you know, pretend you don't see it. I want to give you the update on how this challenge is going and how I'm feeling about it. I think overall I am enjoying this. this. The challenge is going well in terms of sparking like that desire to keep reading. There are definitely days like on day 1 where I ended the book and I immediately wanted to start another one, and the same thing actually happened every day so far, where I was like, cool, let me start the next book. So it definitely has like sparked that desire to read at a more steady pace instead of reading only when I'm in the mood to read, because if I waited for the mood to read to strike me, I probably wouldn't read as often, which can explain why I've been in so many slumps, because I've just been waiting for the mood to strike me. And I think that this version of mood reading in this week is working really, really well for me, because I'm still mood reading. I don't wake up with a day knowing what I want to read the next day. I might have an idea, but I always like scan my bookshelves and my own TBR to see, well, what else do I want to read? And then I decide that, which is why today I'm reading While We Were Dating, because that's what I want to read. So that is working really well for me. Some aspects are definitely overwhelming because I'm not even giving myself 24 hours to finish these books. In most cases, I'm giving myself like 8 to 12 hours to finish these books, because I'm still going about my day as normal, right? So you saw on Monday, I started my day by working. Like, I had work to do when I worked for most of the day. I didn't get to read until 3 p.m. So I only gave myself like 9 hours, and I still wanted to make sure that I gave myself plenty of time for like self-care, watching TV, unwinding, journaling, doing my little gratitude practices, making time for meditation, making time to go to the gym, making time to go for a walk. Because the point of this challenge is also for me that it's not going to interrupt my daily routine. It's just getting me back into the rhythm of reading at the pace that I feel makes sense for me, which doesn't mean that I read a book a day, but I definitely read more than what I have been reading throughout the year, because I've gone through so many reading slumps. I apologize. I feel like this portion of the video is very boring, but I want to give you the honest update for how I'm feeling and how this challenge is going. So I am enjoying that, but I will not lie to you and tell you that because I am allowing my day to unfold naturally and not making reading like the I have to do this right now thing, when it comes to nighttime, I can definitely feel that pressure of I've got to finish this book, which, you know, is what it is. I'm still enjoying the book. I don't feel like I'm rushing myself. Oh, that's a lie. Of course I am rushing myself because I'm trying to hit a deadline. That's just how I'm feeling. I am really enjoying the challenge. At times it's overwhelming, but I think overall it's helping me get back into a better routine with mood reading, and mood reading in a way that doesn't require me to wait for the mood to read to strike me. And it is helping me combat all of the reading slumps I have been in this year so far. Wow, I actually really need to go get my eyebrows done. That was not the intention of this update. I'm gonna do that tomorrow. The intention of this update is to tell you that, as you can see, I'm gonna just put you further away. As you can see by like the yellowish lighting, it is 5 p.m. You wanna know how much I read? Nothing! I have been doing work and I went on my walk. So good luck to me trying to finish this book within the next 7 hours. Am I gonna read? No, I'm gonna sit down and watch TV and unwind. Hence why I usually feel the mad pressure to finish the book before midnight, because I procrastinate.
It's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me.
See you at midnight with my update. I'm kidding. I'll see you before then with my halfway update. But just know what I'm doing, working, now watching TV and getting ready to eat dinner. It's 8:50 p.m. and I only just got to the halfway point of While We Were Dating. Am I concerned that I'm not going to finish this in time? Yes, I am, because I have 150 pages left and I have 3 hours left in the night. About 50 pages an hour is my natural reading pace. So I think I'm gonna finish this exactly at midnight, but I do need to take breaks because I can't just read 150 pages straight through. Eventually my brain starts to check out and I lose focus. So fingers crossed that this isn't a fail on day 4th, but I realized I didn't even tell you what While We Were Dating is about, because I've spoken about this book so much on my channel recently that I just assumed that you knew. But this may be the first video you've ever seen of mine, so in which case, let me tell you about While We Were Dating. So While We Were Dating follows the story of Anna and Ben. Anna is an actress vying for an Oscar, and she has just gotten this huge ad campaign for a new phone. And Ben is a marketing / ad agent. I don't know. He does something important there. Manager? something like that. He is running this campaign that Anna is in. They have an instant chemistry and connection and just feel so comfortable around each other. Anna is immediately hot in the pants for Ben, but you know what? Ben also thinks that Anna is the most beautiful woman he's ever seen. One day, Ben helps Anna with a family emergency, and that allows them to deepen their relationship. And because Anna has a new movie coming out, she has the opportunity to use this relationship as kind of publicity. So she and Ben end up doing that, and of course it leads to a real relationship, real love, real feelings. This story is super cute, and I'll say the whole time I was reading it, I was in the bathtub, and it was so sweet and so funny, and it was just like a book I couldn't stop smiling at because it's all the cute, happy vibes. What I will tell you though is that one, sometimes the conversations felt stilted and awkward, and I was like, who really speaks like that? But that was pretty rare. And two is that we just got introduced to what will become the third act conflict, and it was not subtle at all. So I got my feelings hurt, and I'm like, please don't do this. Please just don't do it. Don't do it. It's so mean and so nasty, and it just makes me like view this character in a completely different light. I'm not trying to spoil anything, but just know that's what's happening. So I'm hoping that Ben and Anna will sit down and have a real conversation about this whole situation going on, and that it doesn't turn into the third act conflict. But as a romance reader, I can feel the third act conflict coming. I fucking finished it. Yeah! I finished it. And guess what time it is? It's 10:45. Here I was thinking that I wouldn't finish this book before midnight, and it's 10:45. Yes! And the good thing is that once I reached a certain point in the book, I was just flying through it. I was into it. I can't tell you how much I loved Ben and Anna as a couple. Ben is a man as written by a woman. He's so compassionate and so sweet and so big-hearted, and I just wanted them to be together and to be happy. And I'm so happy to freaking tell you, the third act conflict is not what I thought it was going to be. And it was actually natural to how their relationship would have gone and what that would have looked like. It felt like a very realistic way in which we unintentionally hurt other people, and how we let our own hurts hurt others and prevent us from going after what it is that we want, rather than it being this very childish and ridiculous thing that I thought it was going to be. I don't want to spoil anything, but just know that I was so happy to see that, and that I was so happy that it happened the way that I wanted it to happen, and that they had real adult conversations. I love Ben and Anna so much, and it was surprisingly spicy. Like, at a certain point it started to get to fade to black, but we got a few solid like sex scenes in here, which was great. So I had a great time reading this book. I'm so happy that it is only 10:45 p.m. I finished this, and it wasn't even hard to finish. And the final rating that I'm giving this is 4.5 stars. I loved it. Like I mentioned, I felt like some of the dialogue was a little bit stilted and awkward, but overall it was such a damn good time. So that's it. Because I still have an hour to go before my bedtime, I can relax and do nothing. And that is my plan for the rest of the night. I'm gonna relax and do nothing, and tomorrow I will see you with my next read, which will probably be a manga. Good morning, or rather it's 12:30 p.m. I just made a smoothie and I'm feeling super relaxed today. Number one, I fucking loved yesterday's book. It was so much fun. But number two, today is our chill day for. Today is my chill day because I am going to read a manga today. I really woke up in the mood, and I was like, you know what I want to read? Sweat and Soap Volume 8. So that's what I'm going to read, and it's immediately available from my library. So today I'll be reading Sweat and Soap Volume 8, which obviously I can't tell you too much about because it's the 8th book in a series, but it's a romance manga following this couple who are falling in love and developing the relationship. They moved in together, they've met the family, and I believe book 8 is about them going on a vacation together. Their like first big vacation together to the beach, and I believe there's a lot of fan service in here. So we shall I'll see. But either way, it will take me no more than an hour and 15 minutes to read this book. So I'm gonna relax now and record 2 more videos later on today. I recorded 1 this morning, hence if you've seen my previous video, this is the day that I'm recording it. So happy Thursday. I'll see you with my thoughts on Sweat and Soap. I did go do my eyebrows. Yes, they're very bold. It's going to fade. It's the tint. I'm reading Sweat and Soap now. It's still super cute. I love their relationship so much. And there was just already a lot of fan service. At some point I was like, oh my God. I mean, not in-depth fan service, okay? We had like little scenes and allusions to scenes. But I was like, oh, we're jumping right into it. We're like 5 pages in and they are all over each other. But it makes sense. It's their 1-year anniversary. But there was just this scene that made me laugh and like shows you the inner working of my mind. So Sako is going to bed and her partner asks her, why do you wear a bra to bed? Like, isn't that uncomfortable for women? And she says, oh, it's like a night bra. I feel more comfortable wearing it. But then in her internal dialogue, she's like, actually, it's really uncomfortable. And I feel more comfortable, like, energetically wearing it. But physically, it's super hot and sweaty and chafes. I'm like, girl, take them titties out. Take them titties out. As someone who doesn't fucking wear a bra almost ever. I'm just like, you don't need to, especially when you're sleeping. Take the bra off, my girl. Y'all have fucked so many damn times. I promise you. He knows what your titties look like. So anyway, I will finish this so soon, which means I'll get to spend the rest of the night on sprints with Patreon and Mel, and I'll get to watch TV for the rest of the night. I finished Sweat and Soap Volume 8. Oh my gosh, it was so stinking cute. I was obsessed. I just love their relationship so much. And they're moving through like each of the milestones in their relationship. And this one, it's their 1-year anniversary. And they're thinking about the future and what they do and don't want for themselves. And it just filled my heart with joy. I gave it 5 stars. It has to be one of my favorite in the series so far. It took me about 45 minutes to finish the entire book. So I'm very happy about that, especially because it meant that I got to do a lot of work today. I recorded like 3 videos and the intro to this video. So that means tomorrow is an editing day, but Saturday is playtime. Good morning. Yeah, I really don't have anything to say. Oh my gosh, my headphones are still on. Obviously, I just woke up. You can see that. I was going to read Last Tale of the Flower Bride today, but honestly, I was cramping all fucking night and my stomach really hurts. I'm like nauseous and I'm concerned because my nieces had a stomach virus when they were here and I was like, it's been a couple of days, I haven't caught it and I'm not on my period, so there's no reason for me to be cramping and for me to feel this sick. So I'm gonna see what it is I'm gonna do, but the priority today, because it is Friday, is to edit the video that's going up tomorrow. I post every single Tuesday and Saturday, although I am thinking of changing that timeline a little bit. We'll see what I end up doing. I want to go for a shorter book or like an audio book or something, just because I really am not feeling great and because I'm feeling sick and I have fucking anxiety. My mind is associating the symptoms in my body, like the upset stomach, with anxiety. So even though I'm not actually anxious about anything, I'm now anxious about the fact that I have an upset stomach because I'm linking the 2 together. That is my update for you on what's going to happen. I don't know what I'm going to read. I'm going to read something. I might go for an audiobook just so I can lay in bed and hopefully throughout the morning this feeling passes so I can pick up a book. I don't feel too bad right now. It's just like excessive heat is how I would describe it. It feels hot in my stomach, which, you know, is not a fun time. Not a fun time. Did I feel better? In case this isn't obvious, no. Mostly I've been in and out of sleep. In the periods where I've been awake, I have just been editing my video, which is going up tomorrow when I have had the energy, but I've just been battling the like nausea bits. And honestly, if this conversation is not for you, please skip ahead. I know some people really are triggered by conversations about being sick. Honestly, I don't mind like throwing up. I don't. If I'm gonna throw up, I know I'm gonna feel better after I throw up. For me, it's the whole process of one, this very unflattering angle, but for me, it's the being nauseous. I hate being nauseous so damn much. And honestly, the thought of reading makes me want to be sick. Like the thought of sitting down and reading a book physically and like doing this with my eyes, no. And the thought of sitting down and listening to a story, I don't know what I would listen to, because if I hear anything about bodily fluid in any capacity, whether it's blood and guts or saliva and cum, like I don't want to. But with that said, I did just wake up again for like the second or third time today, like 30 minutes ago. So I'm hopeful that I'm going to feel better, because unfortunately I've had stomach viruses many times in my life. If I did have a stomach virus, I would have already thrown up by now. But because I haven't already thrown up by now, I'm wondering if it's perhaps something else. So I've taken Pepto-Bismol, and I hope that that is effective. And I will let you know if I do decide to read something. Hello, I'm back with this very unflattering angle, but besties, this is the position that helps right now. So this is the angle and shit lighting we're going to deal with. So I did find Mysteries of Thorn Manor on Scribd, so that's what I'm listening to. This is the novella companion to Sorcery of Thorns, and we're back with my favorite characters, so I'm so happy. Thorn Manor is Nathaniel's house, and Nathaniel is a sorcerer, and his wards are acting up. They're essentially about to trap him and Elizabeth and Silas and Mercy. Who the fuck is Mercy? I don't know. It's been a while since I've read Sorcery of Thorns. It's going to trap them in the house, and I'm assuming they're going to have some shit to work through, but I'm just kind of like internally laughing to myself, not aloud because the shaking would hurt, internally laughing to myself, because I'm just like, you know who my favorite character is? It's Silas, because he's a demon, so of course he's my favorite character. So that's the update. The book is really short. Like, it's literally only 2 hours, 2 times speed on the audiobook. So I'm going to finish this tonight for sure. But I'm going to take it super, super easy and just be kind to myself as I do that, because I'm not trying to trigger any kind of anything right now. Okay. I just want to be very, very still. Look, I'm up. I have 45 minutes left in Mysteries of Thorn Manor. I'll be honest with you, that I already knew where the story was going to go, not because I read any spoilers, but because it was obvious. And while I am enjoying this audiobook, because if you saw my book recommendations tag video, I fucking love these characters so much, so I'm happy to be back with them. But I definitely have the opinion that this book did not need a sequel of any kind. Like, it ended very well. I think it tied everything very neatly into a beautiful little bow. I have the window open because I definitely need some fresh air here in the house. I'm gonna finish this up, but I'm pretty sure I'm not going to have a strong opinion one way or another. I'm just going to be happy to spend these 2 hours with some of my favorite characters. It is exactly 10:30 p.m. The lighting is terrible in this room, so I apologize because it's nighttime. I don't know why I look like I'm wearing makeup. I'm not. I'm really, really tired. I think that's very obvious by my eyes. So I'm going to turn off all the lights, lay down, and let the final 45 minutes of this book gently send me to bed. I was gonna say put me to sleep, but that makes it sound like it's boring. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I'm closing my eyes for the night. Just wanted to give you that update, because I'm not going to update you again until the morning, because I'm turning all the lights off and they're staying off. So I'm gonna see you in the morning, but I should finish this book at about 11:20 p.m. Hello, and welcome to my Untamed Baby Hairs and day 7, the final day of me shaking this tripod, excuse me. The final day of this reading vlog, this reading challenge. Is it 8 p.m.? Yes. Have I read anything or even decided what to read? No. I was recording for my gaming channel all day, for the most part. I did spend like 3 hours watching Gavin's Gossip Girl video. Have I ever seen Gossip Girl or read Gossip Girl? No. But I was here for the video. So because it's 8 p.m. and I only have 4 hours to start and finish a book, I'm hoping to read one of the shorter books on my TBR. I'm thinking maybe Kiki's Delivery Service. It sounds super, super cute, and the audiobook would only be about 2 hours on 2 times speed because it's only a 4-hour audiobook. So maybe that, but I'm also in the mood for like a spicy romance. So maybe like a spicy romance novella or something on Kindle Unlimited. I don't know, but what I know for a fact is I'm not gonna read for this hour because your girl has just been recording for like 4 hours straight, and one of those hours I had forgotten to resume the recording. So I lost all of the footage for that because it doesn't exist. So I had to re-record that episode. So I'm gonna take a mental break to watch a video, to relax, to unwind. So I know I'm gonna need something super, super short, and that's what I'm gonna be doing for the rest of the night. But let me update you on how I felt about this book here, Thorn Manor, Mysteries of Thorn Manor. Like I mentioned last night, I very much think this book did not need to exist, and that Sorcery of Thorns ended the way that it did, and I thought that was the perfect ending for the book, and it doesn't need a sequel. With that said, as I also said last night, I love Silas, and I love Nathaniel and Elizabeth, so this was just like fun times to spend more time with these characters, and it was more so, as you could predict, to get happily ever after for Elizabeth and Nathaniel and see what that looks like for them. It was very, very cozy, but at times it did feel cheesy, and mostly I was intrigued by Silas's subplot, and I think that we're getting little hints that there may be a sequel, because the way this novel ended, it ended in a way where I was like, you're hinting at a sequel, aren't you, bestie? You are. So that is how I felt about it overall. I give it 3 stars. It was fun to be around them, but it wasn't anything spectacular. I just liked seeing Elizabeth and Nathaniel be happy. But like I mentioned, at times it did feel kind of cheesy, and I think it was mostly because, keep in mind, I had a stomach bug, so I was already feeling sick and out of it. So I was listening to this, and while it was very visually appealing in my head, like I can see everything, I can love the characters, the state that I was in inhibited my ability to actually fully enjoy and understand this book. So I want you to take my review and my opinion with a grain of salt, and a heavy grain of salt, because of my mental and physical state while I was reading this. So with that said, let me take my break. Let me figure out what it is that I'm going to read that's super short, and I will see you with the update on whatever it is that I decide to pick up. I've decided what book to read, and it's this one, Being Merry or something like that. Yes, it is a Christmas novella. And yes, my baby hairs are progressively standing up even more because I do this while I read and watch TV, which I'm sure is great for me. But this book follows this woman who has just moved to a new town. She doesn't have housing yet, and one of her coworkers, I think, knows someone who needs a roommate. So she goes because she needs a place to stay, at least for a little while. Her roommate is essentially like the Grinch. He's super grumpy, but of course it's a spicy novella, so I can assume that they're gonna bang. So this audiobook is really, really short. The book is only 98 pages, so it is a novella. It should only take me an hour to finish, and I'll let you know what I think of it. You literally can't even see me, but just want to tell you, this book is gay. I didn't realize it, but it's sapphic. It's 2 women. Oh, I'm so excited to see how this is gonna go. And oh, my nose is itching. Okay, that was probably my only update for the night. Just want to tell you that. It's 11:20 p.m. So I just turned the lights on so you could actually see me. But I'm not getting up because I'm lulling myself to sleep. But I wanted to give you this update and tell you, if I wasn't doing this challenge, I probably would have already DNF'd this book. And the reason that is that it's grumpy sunshine, but it's the kind of grumpy sunshine that I freaking hate. And that is when I guess in this case, it's the other female character, because it's a sapphic book, which I love. But here, I'm just like, when the grumpy person is literally just an asshole, and I don't like that. I like the grumpy when it's like some kind of miscommunication, or it's awkwardness, or the person is like actually has a huge crush on the other person, and it comes off as like very aloof because they don't know how to speak to them. Like, that's the kind of grumpy that I like. But when you're just an asshole, I don't like it. And it's also the kind of flirting that I really freaking hate. And that is the flirting that people do when they're just kind of mean to you, and that's supposed to be flirting. Blech. If it works for you, it works for you. When I say that, I mean for me. I hate it. It pisses me off to no fucking end. Because never, ever, ever do I want to see someone be flirted with in a romance book when the person is just being mean to them and like bullying them. I don't take that as flirting. So because though it is 11:20 p.m. and I only have 25 minutes left in this book, which is pretty much an erotica, I am going to finish it. But know that if I wasn't doing this challenge, I would have DNF'd it and just gone straight to sleep. Good morning. It is 9:35 a.m. I was confused as to why I woke up at 9:30 in the morning, and then I realized daylight savings time. It's 8:30 in my mind. We just jumped ahead in the clock. So I want to tell you about the book that I read last night. All of my feelings still stand. Unfortunately, it was a 2.5-star book for me. And that is mainly because of the issue that I had with Lennox's attitude. And I mentioned I don't like this aspect of Grumpy Sunshine. If I see it, I view it as Grumpy Sunshine not done well, just because it's not my favorite thing. And that is when it's supposed to be Grumpy Sunshine, but the hero slash heroine is actually just an asshole. Not into it. Like, this book opens with Lennox barking at Noelle, yelling at her about Christmas stuff, making fun of her all the time, and then they suddenly start speaking really dirty to each other, and you don't even like each other. Like, literally from one sentence to the next, they are suddenly hitting on each other, and I'm like, whoa, what did I miss? Obviously, because it's a novella and it's shorter, so the relationship is going to move on a much faster track, but I don't think that's necessary for a novella. Within 2 weeks, like literally 2 weeks within this book, these two are a couple and are engaged. It was not for me. They even get together and Noelle's like,
Lennox so prefers that I don't speak, but then she showers me with kisses.
I'm like, she prefers that you don't speak. Anyway, besties, 2.5 stars, which is unfortunate because I know this is the author for Being Hospitable, which I also read last year and actually really enjoyed. This one just did not work for me. So that is the end of this reading challenge. 7 books and 7 days. I actually really enjoyed this. I didn't think that I would, and I felt like it would be more of a challenge than what it actually felt like. For the most part, I was always excited to start a new book on a new day. I like the ability to switch between genres and just like how new and fresh that felt for me and how exciting it made reading, because I always knew as soon as I finished this book, I would get to jump right back into another one. If anything, I would say the downfall of this experience is mood reading, and I would say only towards the end, because for the most part, while I was reading the book that I was reading, I kind of had a feeling of what I would want to read next, but of course, always let my mood decide what that was. But by the end, I would get to certain points where I'm like, I really don't know what I want to read, and I think last night was a good example of that, because that means I ended up reading something that I wouldn't have read otherwise, just because it was short and would allow me to finish a book within the time frame. If I do this experiment again, depending on how this video performs, and if you like it, then I would do it again with a set TBR as an additional challenge and see how that works for me. But overall, I had a great time with all of the books that I read. As I mentioned, this was such a super fun experiment. I loved this pace of reading for me, and it definitely was a fun challenge to try to fit in reading a book a day within my schedule already. So I didn't try to change anything around, and I only really started reading when I was in the mood to start reading. With that said, I'm probably gonna go get my hair done. I'm going to enjoy the very long day of sunshine. Hopefully it doesn't get cloudy, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.